Thank you for waiting, and a very good afternoon once again to everyone. Welcome to Deep Truth, Unmasking Digital Deception. My name is Nat Ko, and I will be your host for this event. We hope that you will find the program lineup to be insightful as well as informative. Do pay attention to the screen throughout the session, as we will have the QR code for Slido displayed on the screen for a question and answer session later. To begin today's program, please welcome Mr. Stanley Tsang, AI Task Force Distinguished Engineer and Senior Director, Special Projects, to give his keynote address. Mr. Tsang, please.
Very good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you get good lunch. Okay, I think we have a impactful agenda ahead of us. Okay, first, I'm actually a co-chair for AI Task Force for CSA. When we initially set up this task force about 1 year ago, one of the key problems we try to tackle is AI-enabled threat. Today, we'll go deep dive a bit more about, from CSA point of view, what we see as a problem, and then also what we see as a potential solution as well. So I think AI, we're all using now. I assume everyone in this room, you're using at least twice a day, especially agentic AI. So you almost incorporate in our daily life. But when it comes to convenience, it also comes with risk. So all the emerging tech, including AI, is a double-edged sword. So when we enjoy the benefit the AI brings, we need to think about what the consequence it may actually introduce in our life. So the way we see point out is we probably already seeing based on some of the threat intel trained by some of the industry player or even CSA, we do see people using AI to actually generate attack. So it will create some of the concern for us. So why, from where I see this is actually become a key concern, because the entry point to launching attack is much, much lower. In the past 5-10 years ago, if you ask me about cybersecurity, we are dealing with someone more sophisticated. But fast forward in today's context, anyone in this room, if you want to be a hacker, if you want to be a bad guy, it's so easy to do. Because we can do it in a commercial grade hardware. There's a lot of software, LLM, bad LLMs, a lot of tools is freely available for you to, even you actually want to stage a very sophisticated attack. It's not too difficult. You don't even need to be technical. So that is actually some of our key concern. And then with AI, you can scale up easily. One of the key discussion point we actually have with many like-minded people is actually we all agree. I think the bad guys actually collaborate better than us. So they actually have a marketplace. You can buy a lot of tools. And surprisingly, some of them are reasonable, cheap. Now, even with AI, you don't even need to using those marketplaces. You don't even need to pay them. All you need to do is be good at LLM, know how to bypass some of the gut view. So the entry point to do bad things is much, much easier. So the other observation we have is we already see incident people actually using AI to do a very convincing deepfake. I think if people from in the room from Singapore, you see a lot of financial scam, try to using our PM, try to using our some kind public figure, try to actually alert you to actually into some kind of investment scheme. So the threat is real. And then every couple of months, you have more advanced AI model, especially on the audio, video. It's harder and harder to tell what is real and what is not real. Okay, so imagine, okay, or one day you actually pick up a phone, okay, or let's say, okay, a old lady, she pick up a phone and all of a sudden, okay, a video call, the son's calling him, bad thing happened, accident, want her to wire some money. Okay, people were actually not that tech savvy. When the video become or voice become so convinced, people actually will fall into this kind of scam. So we have a lot of concern on this. And then when you have an AI, you actually can actually stitch a more sophisticated social engineer attack, more targeted attack as well. So and then you actually with this we will actually have lose what we used to have is the trust between different people. We already observed this kind of trend. Within the room, I think a lot of people nowadays, when someone call you on your mobile phone, if it's not a recognized number, you will not even pick up the phone, right? The same thing happens. We're getting worse when we actually have this kind more sophisticated AI created threat. So I think we are facing a dilemma as a cyber defender. One key thing we observe to fight for the bad guy, I need to protect everything. Need to keep everything tight. In order to actually stop them to coming in. But for the attacker, all I need to actually spot is one weakness, and then they can come in. So it's getting harder and harder because in the past, people need to actually rely on a bit more sophisticated things to find a weakness. But now I can do it using AI. So that become a bigger and bigger problem. So what we can do, or what we actually can see as a risk in near future, we will see there will be more deepfake things coming out in the form of voice, in form of video, and then audio impersonation also is actually a key risk. I think that's a new term. I don't know whether you guys are actually aware. They call phishing. So it's a combination of voice and video. So instead of I send you an email, I will actually capture 20 seconds your voice and then impersonate you, and then try to actually do bad things. So with this, I think like I said earlier, so we actually will be much more distrust from each other. So we have a lot of problems, Do we actually have any kind of solution we can think of? So I think from where I stand as a technical agency, first thing in top of our heads, can we actually solve the problem in technical manner? The answer is yes and no. Technical solution help, but it's not a complete solution. So I think later on you will actually find from our colleagues, they will actually show you guys some of the tools they build, and try to tackle this problem. There's a hope. If we all put the effort together, we can build more structured, more comprehensive framework to help us to battle this problem. And then we need to build human expertise, but this is getting harder and harder. I still remember one or 2 years ago, when you see a deepfake video, very easy you can tell that's AI or this fake. But it's getting harder and harder to spot. Meaning, we can't just judging by human, because sometimes we need to bring in adaptive strategies. That means, shall we actually build AI to help us to detect that? And lastly, we need to actually find a way to trace or verify the source of the file, to make sure there's a mechanism for us to tell whether it is a real or is a fake. So for Singapore, I think try to adopt strategies actually to fight off this kind of issue. CSA by ourselves will not be able to actually do it. So we are doing a whole nation approach. For us, specifically for AI, we actually create a guideline and then companion guide to actually give guidance for people who want to build an AI system, how you can build it securely. I think if you attend some of the event, I think some of you will actually keep on hearing this term, security by design, security by default, or shift to left, that kind of concept. So we want to actually get people to think, when you actually build an AI system, you need to build security in a much earlier phase. That certainly will be able to help. So we actually develop this guideline to actually help. And then the other sister agency like IMDA, they will look at into different lands, how they can give the guidance for people who actually want to build AI system, how to build it fair in a more safety manner. And also, when we do all the AI initiative, when we create guidance, we don't close the door and then try to cook something from CSA perspective only. We need to actually work with all the industry partner, academia. We just newly launched by, I think, last 2 days, a renewed version or addendum for this guideline. We add in the agentic element. Because now we start seeing people actually build agentic application, but we want them to actually make sure they build it securely. Very often we see people actually just chasing the shining object. Just do, security will come later. If you do that, you will be paying the price quite heavily, because you want to retrofit security to a solution or pre-built solution. It will be much harder than you already building with the security design. So in today, later on, the session, the team will actually will share with you guys all the collaboration between CSA and CATOS. We try to actually offer some answer. I will not say we have all the answer. We hope we are try to actually tackle this kind of problem in a more systematically. And I hope whatever the demonstration, the tooling they show you guys will be useful for you guys. Lastly, I think moving forward, how can we actually deal with this kind of problem? So first, we should actually develop better tools. That's exactly this forum, where they show by example, build some tools to help to tackle this issue. And then we need to educate people, mainstream, how to actually tell the difference. You got to remember, I think last few years ago, our key problem for the Singapore cyberspace is actually scam. When you add AI with the scam problem, it will make the problem even more complicated. So I think the awareness will become even more important. And then we need to actually find a way to build something can verify the source, tell the difference between is it actually a deepfake, is it real? And then the other things I keep on mentioning many times we need to have a more vibrant ecosystem, get more people involved to battle this kind of problem together. So I think I'm out of time. Thank you very much. I hope later on the team will actually share with you guys some of the useful tools. And I still keep my hope up. We will have a capability to deal with this kind of problem. Over the next year when we come back, we should have more answer than question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tsang. We would now like to invite Director of Center for Advanced Technologies in Online Safety, CATOS, Dr. Yinping, on stage to give a sharing on CATOS' Online Trust and Safety Program. Dr. Yang, please.
Hello. Very good afternoon, everyone. So it's a great pleasure to share some of our recent work on this important topic, deep truths. Thanks for coming all over the world and also spending your precious lunchtime with us. We have curated, I would guarantee that we have some original materials, and we'll talk more about solutions than problems, because I think we have enough problems, and then a lot have been talked about the problems. But here, CATOS is going to share with you some of the recent developments and some of the features, our tools, that is the first time that we are introducing to our stakeholders. So the first segment that I will cover is overall introduction of Singapore's Online Trust and Safety Program. And then my colleagues will join me to unpack the what, why, and how about tackling deepfakes in this digital era. So my name is Yinping Yang. I'm from the CATOS Center for Advanced Technologies in Online Safety. And also I'm a senior research scientist from the Agency for Science, Technology, and Research. So in A-Star and CATOS, we focus a lot about translating technologies to real-world implications. And we work a lot with both academic collaborators and also industry partners to really achieve the impact. So as Chair has introduced, we have been facing a lot of challenges in terms of those problems that are not traditional cybersecurity. So this could be coming from the use of technologies to make unbelievable things more believable. And also those content that are socially divisive, as well as those viral content that could be dangerous for some segment of our society, especially children. So the Online Trust and Safety Program is an initiative from Singapore's Ministry for Digital Development and Information, MDDAI, and also supported by our National Research Foundation that A-Star is selected to host this important program. CATOS was launched officially last May, and we are really set up to come together to build technologies to address online harms. So our mandate is to get the whole of nation capabilities together. When I say whole of nation, this basically means whether they are coming from academic background or they are from industry, public agencies, or even NGOs are coming together to contribute their understanding as well as solutions to this important problem. So as you may see that we kind of share the same logo, color themes with CSA. We have a combination of blue and red. Blue basically means our methodology, our mind, and our tools. And red means the enthusiasm and the heart for people. A very important perspective that will help us to explain to you our key approach is this system of the system perspective that was outlined by MDDI. So this basically means that when we are faced with a lot of problems, we usually start with looking at how we mitigate all these harms, how we respond to them. So that is the surrounding the social cognitive systems, where we look at how we can improve the public's digital literacy and empower them to have better knowledge and tools. But we know this is very challenging, because a lot of the harms are actually targeting at the very weakness of human cognition. Those are probably appealing to our pre-existing notion of beliefs, and also they really appeal to our emotions. So it's very hard to correct them. But something more upstream is in the information propagation systems. We know today's maybe more than 95% of the content is delivered through this numerous, I would say limited number of social media platforms. They are so powerful that they control most of the content people see and consume. So MDDI believe that if we could address at the early, very timely part of the information propagation systems, we can really make a much more proactive impact. So this translates to the early detection theme of CATOS workstream. Basically, we have been developing tools that detect deepfakes as well as hate speech and other kind of online toxicity to address and do early alert of the information operations so that we can really tackle them early. I would say last but not least is that instead of reacting, whether through early detection or mitigation, we shouldn't forget about, we should also help the good guys. So a lot of time, we overemphasize perhaps the harms. And that's why deepfakes is such a popular term. When I say popular, I also mean that in academic research, for example, there are easily over 30 data sets that are deepfakes. But we haven't been pursuing very much about, so how can we help the good guys to strengthen the authenticity of the content they publish? We are actually, like the chair introduced, that deepfakes are using deep technologies, but truth is not leveraging deep technologies. So we should do something about that. For this particular theme, I'm happy to share that CATOS has been partnering with Adobe, the leading company, who has been driving C2PA content provenance technology. And we are already on our way to implement C2PA in Singapore. So watch out for our future announcement. So this is just a quick overview of all the kind of online harms CATOS has officially scoped in our program. So today we are focusing the deception and manipulation. But if you're interested in other area, welcome to next weekend. You please come to Bedok, Heartbeat. We are going to talk about how we tackle online toxicity. Okay, so a quick overview of how we organize ourselves. So we have 3 key pillars. So deep tech research pillar is primarily through open ground course. This is a way to activate the whole research community across the universities and the research institutes to come together to contribute their new ideas. At the same time, we have a system engineering pillar. We look into integrating the research outputs into tangible solutions. And we work alongside with our industry and public agency partners to really make them accessible and usable. We have a very interesting and I would say dynamic data pillar. As most of you would know, that this space is almost upside down, I would say, after about year 2022, where, for example, X has become Twitter, Twitter has become X. And then you have seen that the access to data has been totally changed from its complimentary or free API for research. And now you need to pay millions for the same amount of data a typical research center could collect for COVID-19, for example. And that means a huge change in terms of how much the research community can discover through these platforms. And today, if some of you are already in this space, you know that how, sorry, no offense to friends and colleagues are coming from the platforms. We know how bad some of these tools, these platforms have become. And CATOS invests in data pillar to build our direct APIs, and we find all the possible means to collaborate with data vendors to make sure that our tools will be tested and applied in the real world setting. The real world means real online world. Okay, so this is a lineup of tools, and today we'll highlight Sleuth as well as Provo, but you're welcome to check out with us that we have other tools to tackle other types of online harms. Okay, so this is my second last slide, that besides doing a lot of research and engineering, CATOS is also organizing and participating in a lot of events. So this is last year. So from a forum on online trust and safety to various workshops and smaller events. And this year, we have been deep diving into building content authenticity by design and the various other outreach activities. Okay, so without further ado, I'll pass on the mic to my colleague Yunlong to share with you about the generation part of deepfakes.
Yeah, hello everyone, I'm Yunlong. In CATOS, I'm in charge of the technology evaluation part. So, okay, so I will introduce a little bit more details about deepfake generation, then we understand why we care about it and why it's so dangerous right now. We have to invest enough time and effort on it. So we can see here the development, the little bit history of deepfake generation. So deepfake generation can be traced back to 1990s. So we can see a little clip of the deepfake at that time. It's a bit small. Oh, the voice. Is it on?
I never met Forrest Gump.
Okay, you can see it's very short and the resolution is low at that time, so we don't need to care too much about it. It's only exists in some labs in top universities. And then later on, with the rise of some new technologies, you may heard about the generative adversarial networks, or GANs, or diffusion models, or UNet, these Django's technical terms. So these technologies make it happen that right now, the deepfake is so easy for everyone, so lay users, to generate almost in real time. So, so right now, so I'm not sure if we can play here.
This is deepfake AI in action.
Yeah.
Posted by @ArtRAFAL, also known as...
Yeah, something like this. So every day when you take a video conference or call to someone, so maybe the people behind the screen is not a real person, right? So
I never met Forrest.
okay, so we
Dear
do.
Singaporeans, the day has come. I am pleased to introduce.
Yeah, we do see a lot of like this kind of cases caused by deepfake videos or images targeted Singapore or not, because we don't see all the cases happening in Singapore, but it's quite close to us. So we don't know, like one day we will like be targeted. So for example, the first category is miscontextualization, so, or we call it recontextualization. So this one is a quite popular case for this kind of miscontextualization case. So where our PM Lee is queuing for COVID-19 vaccination. But actually, the real context for this images is about more than 10 years ago, 2014. He's queuing for chicken rice or chicken wings. So some people use this kind of, we can call it cheap fake or whatever fake, to manipulate people's ideas. Yeah. Also, we see quite often in Singapore is people use many years ago's video or image about flood to claim, okay, this is right now happening in Singapore, to gain some traffic or to just make fun, whatever. And then another case is deepfake scams. This is quite severe, I would say. And we see a lot of cases happening, especially this year. So we see the deepfake videos of our Prime Minister and our President talking about investment, right? So this is quite harmful if people believe it. Even people don't believe it. It already like generate a bad image of the government, right? So we need to stop it as soon as possible. And then the third one is AI generated illegal materials, for example, CSAM. This is also like very, very severe one. So because it's happening sometimes not in social media, it's in a messenger, is in WhatsApp or Telegram, where we have limited ways to really detect it and stop it. Yeah, so this case is not happening in Singapore, but in many other countries. For example, this one is from Australia. And then the last case I want to talk about is social division and radicalization using Gen AI. So this is an active Facebook user. He oftentimes posts such religion-related content to attack a certain type of religion. So this is something which can harm the social harmony in our society. Okay, there are many, many more. I just put several representative examples here.
This is a
so for a layperson, how can they generate deepfakes in a very easy way, and how many methods they can use? For example, this is my video.
Hi, good morning. I'm Yun Long, a scientist from A-Star, Singapore.
And right now, if I have any image from my colleagues, friends, or anyone from the internet, and then I can just use face swap. Then I just swap.
Hi, good morning. I'm Yun Long, a scientist from A-Star, Singapore.
Yeah, I can just swap my face with somebody else. And then I can also use a video translation. So I don't speak, for example, here is, I think, Malay or Tamil.
Hai, selamat pagi. Saya Yun Long, seorang saintis dari A-Star, Singapura.
Yeah, so Malay. So I can use a video translation to directly translate my video to other languages. And then I can also create my own avatar. So for example here.
Hey, Yun Long Wang, your instant avatar is ready. Try creating videos with it. Also click the feedback button to share what you think. Hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so this is my avatar. I created use a commercial tool. Everybody can use it. And then once it's done, I can just type in whatever I want to say. Then the avatar will just say it. So it can be used for good purposes. For example, the YouTubers, TikTokers, they can just use this technology to create 20, 30, hundreds of videos every day. They don't need to talk. But also it can be used for bad purposes. For example, scam, right?
Hi, good morning. I'm Yun Long.
Okay, so I would say the bad actors, they wouldn't use the commercial tools. Yeah, for example, commercial tools might already have some guardrail, or they have some watermark that people can detect. They will use open source ones, I would say. So then they fine-tune the model to make it super realistic, and maybe they add some adversarial noises so that the common detectors cannot detect. Yeah, for example, this one, I use my colleague's video. You will see her right away.
Good afternoon.
Therese.
My name is Therese, and I'm the System Engineering Head of the Center for Advanced Technologies in Online Safety, Singapore. Thanks for the opportunity to...
Yeah, you can see once I have a video of everyone, then I can extract the audio part, then use a speech synthesis model to to fine-tune the model and make it keep the feature of the voice, the timbre, the tone, and the style. And then I can just use any text I want to say and then generate the synthesized audio. Then the second is I use a visual part, put it into the lip sync model, and then to make the audio into the video via the lip sync part. So then I have a deepfake video like this
being
one.
in a male-dominated field for many years. I've seen how women succeed in their own ways. To me, it was never a question about the intelligence.
So it's not perfect, but I would say not everyone can identify this kind of deepfake, especially when you are not so familiar with the person, right? And yeah, so how can we deal with this kind of deepfake content?
Being in a
Oh, sorry. Then my colleagues will give you more details about the answer.
And right now, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Sumik Mondal, Principal Scientist at CATOS, on stage to deep dive on audio-visual deepfake detection. Dr. Mondal, please.
Hello. Myself, Somik. I'm working as a scientist in Esther and also a CATOS member. So today I'm going to demonstrate a couple of our technologies that we are developing for this particular space, especially on deepfake detection. So I'll just start with one of the examples, like this one, where we can show them that how we can detect a couple of deepfake videos and
I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just a realist, and I know that you wish you were. I ain't trying to play pretend, you wish you could do it again, so baby, let me take it.
So this video is completely generated video. So right now, if you want to become an artist, you don't need to sing, you don't need to dance. Like AI can do it for everything for you. And yeah, it has a good and bad impressions as well. Like but common people can do that, but it's actually not a real art. So here we are trying to detect like whether it's a deepfake or not, and we build a couple of different tools for this kind of work. So we currently have 3 different tools. One is face-based detections, like it will detect whether it will swap your faces on other faces. Like I take a pictures of this particular room, and then I start changing of someone's faces with someone else's faces. So this is a first model we develop for that kind of purposes. Then second one is the audio. Is there a audio manipulations happen or not? And third one is the entire video is completely generated or not. In this case, there is no other like manipulations happen, except that there is the whole entire video is completely generated and audio is completely generated, and that the tool is saying like, yeah, audio and video is completely generated. Here we have some other more details, like we'll go frame by frame details, like each and every frame, whether this is manipulated or not, to see like right now we also see lot of videos coming in these days, like partially manipulated, meaning that you have a 10 minutes of the video, and within that, in the middle, 30 seconds is manipulated in order to convey a certain message, like yes become no or no become yes, to convey certain narrative or misinformation. So we want to detect that whether those tiny segments can be detected. The rest of the videos are okay. So if you put the entire video into any of these detection tools, it will fail because the percentage of manipulations is very low, and the tools will unable to detect. So what we are trying to detect by this one, whether any segments has a red spikes on that particular region, so that we can detect that this particular region is a manipulated region or not. So that's one of the things. Also, Yonglong was mentioning like AI avatar. I can show you one of the examples for that.
I've got a secret I want to share with you. I'm not a real person. I was created with artificial intelligence. I guess you could call me an avatar. My voice was created with 11 labs, and the avatar with Hey Gen, meaning you can apply my voice to any AI avatar, like this one, this one,
so
this one,
this
or
is
even
also
this.
AI avatar that Yonglong was mentioning. This is also a generated video and also tampered audio also there, but there is no face manipulation because it's a audio. There is no face swaps. Only the generated video is there. I can give you another example for face-based manipulations like this one.
Quantum AI is a revolutionary investment platform designed by Elon Musk. It's an automated system that allows individuals to earn money effortlessly through crypto investments. The platform streamlines the entire trading process using advanced.
Here, the attacker has used like lip sync manipulations, where your audio and person's video was lip synced and manipulated. So that's why it's detected as a face-based manipulations as well as audio manipulations are there. But the video is not generated because this is real interview, and real interview the attackers was taken and then manipulated the audio and a lip sync part too in order to convey this particular message. Another technology is what we are doing is automated fact checking, and in this case the idea here is the same video, if I upload it in the fact checking, if it's already passed, like assume that my system, the deepfake detection system, is unable to detect whether it's a fake or not, but we have another technology, automated fact checking, which the main idea is what the person is saying, whether it can be verified by my open source knowledge or not. Like, is this a true or false? I can give you a simple example, like whether sun rises in the west. Your claim is sun rises in the west. Can I verify this with my open source knowledge and say that whether it's a true and false? So a similar thing we are doing, like any claims you make, how you going to check it? Like, you go to internet, read bunch of articles, and then establish that whether this particular claim is true and false. And the same thing, like if you upload this audio or any text into our system, it will go break it down, whatever the claims you are making within that particular video or text segment, and then each and every claim will be verified from our open source knowledges and say that whether it's a true and false. And in this case, the same thing happening, like we have the video was, there are a lot of claims was made, like quantum investment, blah blah blah, and then I can verify that whether PM Lee was actually made that kind of claims, or is there an open source knowledge that this kind of things exist or not. And these are all clickable links, like these are evidences, sources you can point out and say that yeah, it's a false claim that was made. And same thing also, like any text based things also you can verify here. Another like automated the miscontextualized images that Younglong was referring to. I can upload this particular image, yeah, this one, and also I can make so this particular image was actually taken into during Syrian conflict, like previous Syrian conflict, not the current one, but it was recently circulated into Israel-Palestine context, and claimed that this actual video, this image was taken into Israel-Palestine context. Here nothing is wrong. The conflict happened, and also the image is also real, not manipulated, but it actually miscontextualized. Like it was taken into Syria, but it was recently circulated into Palestine-Israel Israel conflict. And this is also saying, like, it gives you the actual context here, like it is taken into Syrian conflict time, and my claim was like it was Palestine-Israel conflict, and it's saying no, it's a false one, and also it will give you different evidences, sources where it finds and how it finds that it is a false one. So that's another thing we are doing. We are doing for the same thing for the video as well. Like if you see, like a lot of politicians give a very long speeches, like 45 minutes, but people tend to cut out 1 minute videos and circulate into different contexts. So our idea is to, given that small context, can I find the main speech and then try to establish that whether the context was right or not. Yeah, these are we are doing it for the deepfake and fact checking. We are also working on the phishing and scam detection. Scam is a very broad subject. There are multi-dimensions are there. Deepfake related scams is also there, but there are additions is also like phishing related scam, where you get a lot of phishing emails or phishing links, and also you can you get scammed on messages as well. Here the idea here, if you this is a Telegram bot, but delivery mechanism can be anything. This is a Telegram bot, but there could be a web plugins or WhatsApp bot, whatever. The idea here is, if you forward this message to this Telegram bot, then it will analyze it and give you the justification whether this particular message is likely scam or not, with different scam related analysis, and also your justification of why it thinks it is a scam or not. Same thing like a legitimate one, still it will give you the likely score of whether it's a legitimate or not, and also the justification of why it thinks it's a legitimate or not. Yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mondal, for the informative and engaging sharing. Now, we have received some very interesting questions, and we will be answering them in our Q&A session after this presentation. So do keep the questions coming. If you would like to add a question, simply scan the QR code or enter the code that you see on the screens. And now we would like to welcome Ms. Therese Chieta, who heads the Systems Engineering pillar at CATOS, on stage for the segment of Content Provenance and C2PA as a form of misinformation prevention. Ms. Chieta, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Therese, and I'm the System Engineering Head of CATOS. So you have seen how we can detect deepfakes. So it's a very powerful tool against countering against misinformation and to protect online trust. But what I want to propose today is, so instead of chasing deepfakes, can we protect what is real and authentic from the beginning? So what if we have this digital world where every image, every content out there there is a verifiable signature of who created it, how it was created, and what were the alterations that were made. So this is what I'm going to demonstrate to you. So our goal is to empower the legitimate actors, to enable the good actors to make their digital content authentic by design, so that trust is not assumed, but you can verify it. So this is where C2PA comes in. So C2PA is the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity. It is founded by major tech and media companies, Adobe, Microsoft, and BBC. So they have established an open standard where digital content can be embedded with content credentials. So content credentials is a verifiable history of content's origin. So from creation and all the alterations that have been made. So for example, the date that it was created, where, what was the tool used, and so on. So this is how it will look like when it's published. Okay. Where's my mouse? Yeah. So this is our website in CATOS. So you can just look for the CR logo, and then you can hover it, and then you can check what was the tool used. And then if you further investigate, you'll actually see that the first picture right there was signed by A-Star using our digital certificate. And you can see that it was the ingredient used was the second one, which has no content credential because it was screenshot from a video. So this is briefly how it works. So in C2PA, provenance relies on cryptographically signed manifests to establish trust. So if you have an original image, you can create a C2PA manifest where there are assertions. So assertions is, for example, cropping an image. And then you combine these two, hash them, and then you can sign them with a private key, and then it will produce a digital signature. This digital signature, together with your probably organization's digital certificate, can be embedded into the C2PA manifest, and this C2PA manifest can also be embedded into the image in the form of metadata. So but there's also a way in the C2PA specs that you can separate the C2PA manifest from the image itself. So you store it separately into another server. So of course, when you verify it, like what I've shown earlier, you'll be able to see all the metadata information, such as the app that was used. Okay, so there are various media, government, enterprise communications who have adopted this, implemented it in real world. So for example, the US Embassy at Papua New Guinea, they have inserted C2PA into their website. They work with Digimark. So Digimark is a leading watermarking company so that people who read their webs, or if this photo gets circulated, then they can verify that it's an official release from the US Embassy. AFP has also done a pilot with their journalists using a Nikon camera, and Nikon supports C2PA natively, and they also work with Imatag, which is also another watermarking company. And just last month, I've seen that France Television actually tested C2PA in the online broadcast. So they inserted metadata during a live TV broadcast, and they have announced it during one of the authenticity summits. And maybe you might not know, but some platforms actually have it in their products already. So for example, OpenAI, if you generate a video using Sora, or you get ChatGPT to generate an image and you use that image, put it in the verifier tool, you'll see that the metadata will say it's generated by AI and it's by OpenAI. Google also released the Google Pixel 10 recently, which has a camera supporting C2PA as their metadata. And they have also announced that in Google Photos, if you just look at the About page, if the image has CR inside, they will be able to display it as well. And LinkedIn actually has already supported it quite some time back. So if there's an image with CR, they will not strip off the metadata, but they will display it with all the details right there. Okay, so those are just some concrete steps that we have seen in the products that we use to enable authentic digital online. So, but momentum is building, but there are still gaps. We know that there are still gaps out there. So there's still challenge with full adoption and interoperability. Microsoft and Google, they're leading, but there's some who already publicly committed. They said they will support C2PA, but we have yet to see the actual implementation. But there are also others who have not announced their adoption. But this is where CATOS comes in. We would like to contribute through our Provo to enable organizations and communications folks to implement C2PA in a faster way. So with that, I'll demonstrate to you Provo. So this is Provo. So just yesterday, let me just show the photo I've taken. This is a photo that I've taken from my desk yesterday using a camera app that supports C2PA. So now I want to add another trail in its history by using Provo. So if I select the image that already has CR in it, so here you just have to upload, and then in the backend, it will take a few seconds because what we do in the backend, we watermark it. So we use an open source watermarking, which is from Adobe, the trust mark, and then it will attach the content credentials. Okay, so now the image has been uploaded. Sorry, it has been embedded with CR. And if you verify it, let me see. Yeah, so this is the Adobe verifier tool. So you can get to history. So this is the one that I just now, Provo actually signed it, but what did Provo do is it just opened the image and then published it. But the earlier picture, so we call it the ingredients, was actually captured by this app, Click Camera, which supports C2PA, and you can see the capture date and some other metadata that they record. I believe they store this in the blockchain, so it cannot be altered at all. So just now, I also shared that some platforms actually don't support it yet. And that means when you upload this image, the metadata gets stripped off. We will want everyone to support it. So the solution to that is actually the watermarking. So let me just show you how we solve that problem. So here, if I upload that same image, which already has a CR, so it has the metadata, content credential, it also has a watermark. So by now, probably Facebook has already stripped my metadata. But if I upload it, so we actually have a verifier that we developed, a Provo verifier. Sorry, what happened? Sorry, what happened? Someone deleted something. But let me show my backup. Sorry, what's working earlier? But let me just show you the actual. So if once you upload it and you verify it, all right, we have a Provo verifier where it actually checks all the images on that page. Check with C2PA. If it doesn't have, it will check for watermark. If it has a watermark, it will retrieve the C2PA back and display it here. So now, as you can see, yeah, there was no content credential found, but there's no content credential found. There's a digital watermark detected, so it was used to retrieve credentials from the cloud. So whatever we have built here in Provo, like the signer, the verifier, they're actually all built using open source standards, the C2PA. So what I encourage you is really to try out, to explore, to test it within your workflows and organizations. Yeah, we know adoption is growing. There's still some, so the interoperability is still taking its shape, but as an early adopter, you can shape the authenticity, the future of our digital world. So CATOS is here ready to help if you need help in implementing it fast. And because at the heart of it, we really believe that it's important to have this authenticity, prevention, and transparency for a more trusted digital world. Yeah, that's all I have. Thank you. I would like to pass back the microphone to my colleague Yun Long, who will do a summary of our presentations. Thank you.
Sorry, before our Q&A, I have one more slide to give a summary. How do we cope with the deepfake content? So according to our colleagues' introduction, so we have two tools or ways to solve the problem as a professional. So the first one is we can use the automatic deepfake detection introduced by Sumik. And also we can use another method, which is safety by design. So we use content credentials embedded in your digital content, and then later on we can use automatic credential verification. So two ways, I think both of them are quite important and necessary to solve this problem. And lastly, as a consumer, what we can do, right? So our tools right now are not like fully open to the public, but later on we are working on that. At the same time, we have some pioneers, for example, Chatmate in Singapore, that people can just use their chatbot to verify the content you are interested in. And then as a consumer, we can also, or we can always learn from some framework like Sure by our NLB. So always check the source of the content and understand what it's talking about. What's the intent behind that? And then do some research, if necessary, about the content, about the story, and then lastly, evaluate. So the overall, like, what do you, the message behind the digital content. Okay, so that's pretty much what we want to say. And welcome to Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Wang as well as Ms. Kieta for that insightful sharing. So kindly remain on stage as we invite the rest of the speakers back on stage. Please welcome back Dr. Yang, Dr. Mondal, and Ms. Kieta.
thanks for all your questions. So I'll just read from the Slido what you all have voted the highest. So first question is, what initiatives does CATOS have with major social media platforms for early detection of malicious content, since it really starts from them as a distributor?
Okay, before I answer this question, I want to ask everyone a question. Can I have a show of hand? How many of you are coming from the research sector? No? Okay, then how many of you are coming from public agencies? And who are coming from companies, industry? Okay. Who are coming from big tech social media platforms? Okay, no, I'm not asking whether it's safe to answer. I'm okay to say the same thing. Even some of you are coming from social media platforms. You know, they don't attend this kind of events for perhaps understandable reasons. So this is also one of our key challenge. So CATOS is about 2 years old. How we are doing is that we believe that our intended early detection partnership with social media platform is going to be directly impactful. Yet we know that we cannot just knock their door and say, can I deploy our algorithms in your platforms? Because we know that that is a very I would say, not practical, not realistic question to ask. Because any early detection algorithm that deal with trust and safety can immediately affect their popularity, content, virality, which is central to these platforms. So until that is solved, we are not hoping or putting this false hope that we can tackle that theme. But we are not giving up. What CATOS has been starting is through building. We are already talking to 2 leading social media platforms. It's not finalized, so I couldn't share. But we are starting from the partnership in terms of public education, the mitigation and empowerment theme. And through our partner, Adobe, we are also working with some of them indirectly on the prevention theme. That means adopting C2PA for their platforms. But I'm also would like to share with you that as my colleague Therese has mentioned, that some platforms have been rejecting this whole idea all the while, but you may see from the news that who are exactly them. So you know how challenging it is. So we hope that in 1 to 2 years' time, because of the partnership we could build through other thematic efforts, we could really start doing the early detection algo deployment with at least 1 or 2 these social media platforms. So I hope to give you direct answer in 1 to 2 years' time. Thank you.
Another one for you, Yinping, I think. How does CATOS scrape data from major social platforms, and how do you clean the massive amounts of unstructured data well?
Okay, so I think this link to the data pillar I introduced to everyone. So we do scrape data, but we do through either approved APIs. So those I've listed, we already have systematic access to Facebook, YouTube, as well as Reddit. Then we also, through our data vendor partners, so we have access to others as well, like TikTok, Horizon, and a number of news sites. So yes, how in terms of the approach, we do both direct API as well as data partnerships. How do you clean? Yes, I think this is a very good and challenging question, because about 5 years ago, you know how many social media posts or content? It will be in the range of 800 million a day. Today, this number, because of the popularity of the short video platforms, this number has already been doubled. So it's not possible to clean the massive amount of data. But what we have been doing is that we have been looking at both small models as well as large models to tackle the monitoring part. Why is so? Because, first of all, for those who are in traditional social media research, sometimes you need to clean noise. So I've done that. So noise in traditional research basically means those ads. If you look at a Facebook post, for example, people post ads like investment, and they also have trolls. Those are noise for researchers. But in the context of online trust and safety, these are signals for us. So we cannot just apply traditional noise cleaning method. We actually develop small but effective models to do the effective monitoring. But in a shorter or more concise language, we are using 3 signals. The first one is the emotional heatness. How emotional this content is. Emotional heatness doesn't mean harm, but it is one of the indicators of potential impactful harm. Second one is toxicity. Again, toxicity doesn't mean hate speech or other severe harms, but it is an early sign that we also use. The last but not least one is whether it's going to be trending or viral. So these are our early indicator, small models that we use to clean or monitor a massive amount of social media data. Thank you.
Maybe for Sumik, can the automated fact check tool be added as a browser extension?
Yes. We have already tested this one. The delivery mechanism, like front end, can be anything. Like it can be your browser plugin, it can be like bots that we have shown, like a Telegram bot, WhatsApp bots, or even just an API services. So the backend is the run on your clouds or web services, and then front end can be any of these channels. Thanks.
How do you determine whether there's a red spike at a frame? Like, what's the algorithm behind it? For Sumik as well, I think deepfake detector.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, definitely there are algorithms behind it. Multiple AI algorithms runs on background for different modalities. Like GenAI, we have models for that. Audio, we have models for that. Also face swaps, we have a model for that. So different algorithms runs behind, and then frame by frame we also decide whether this is a generated frames or deepfake frames. And then if you see consecutive number of that frames, then we call it that particular segment is a fake segment. Yeah.
Thanks, Sumik. There are 2 related questions on having this publicly available. I'll just read from the slide. With the research and tools created by CATOS to detect deepfake videos, and I think there was a question about Prova as well, will these tools be made available to the public for them to defend themselves?
Okay, so in fact, I don't know who asked this question, but you are welcome to approach us. Our current approach is that if someone contact us they want to try to view the demo or even adopt the tools, we always respond. The reason we haven't just put it up there entirely publicly available is for 2 reasons. One is the legality issues. So because none of any of the AI models is 100% accurate. So until we can sort out the liability or any issue, then we wouldn't just anyhow put it up for the public. But it is accessible if anyone would like to leverage about it. Second one is that we do regular, I would say, or public education outreach. So we do kind of show the availability of these tools if they need. So far, we haven't seen an ordinary citizen coming to use it on a daily basis. But because this is a relatively new technology, we also welcome any one of you who may have good ideas how we can balance the cost, legal liability, as well as responsible use of such technology. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Last question. Maybe because there's a lot of questions on Provo that I didn't notice. Actually, we will still be around. We can have a discussion. I can answer these questions, but maybe for Yun Long, there's a question on what's the best deepfake detection tool out there.
Okay, so we evaluate our in-house solutions together with open source tools and also commercial tools. So a simple answer is there's no clear winner. So because every year there will be new deepfake techniques coming out, so we do a quite comprehensive evaluation about a lot of different types of deepfake videos and audios, and also the like totally AI-generated content using Sora or Vue. So for different types of deepfakes, different models have different performance, different accuracy. So across all of the like data sets we have, it's always like, okay, for this type of deepfake, this model performed the best. For others, maybe another one. Yeah. So our methodology right now is we use a variety of deepfake detectors. Yeah. When we really do the detection. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I was given the permission to take 2 more questions. So I'll take 2 questions for Provo. What's the kind of memory space taken up for embedding the history of the document or modality adopting C2PA? Well, we tested it on some images. So every image, it doesn't matter how big is your image, but the metadata itself will have about tens to hundreds of kilobytes. So if you have a very high-res image of about 3 meg, it will be a 5% increase in your image. Second question is, at what stage the signing actually takes place? Is it performed on the user's device or by the platform on behalf of the user after upload? So I don't know if you have seen that there can be various stages from creation. So creation is when upon capture, that's why there are cameras who support it. So upon capture, there's already a metadata. It's possible also to take this image with C2PA to bring it to Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop will add another layer of C2PA metadata. After you use Photoshop, that image, you can publish it. Let's say I'm a publisher and like CATOS website, I want to say that, okay, I as CATOS have verified this actually happened, this event has happened, and I want to publish this and vouch for it, so I can publish it with CATOS signature. So it can have 3 points in history. But there's also a possibility, I showed the example just now, is a screenshot, that there was no content credential initially, but I can sign it because I vouched that Yun Long indeed was interviewed by Stephen Cha, for example. Yeah. Okay, so that were the 2 questions for me. Maybe last one for Dr. Yang, talent development. For talent development and closer collab with the government, how can CATOS help scientists become practitioners, provide technical advice, workshops beyond research output?
Okay, I guess this is a question from our sponsors, perhaps to ask us to do more. So, but I can share that how can we help scientists become practitioners? Yeah, so I would say that for those of you who are coming from the research background, if you are scientists yourself, you know, and I was doing my PhD that time, right? And some of us, when we do research or as a scientist in universities, what we do is that we do research for research. We do research, we publish, and we hope that someone else will convert the research outputs for impact. So we write a lot of implications. But if you want to be a practitioner scientist, that means you don't do research for research, you do research directly for impact. and that is very different, and that comes with compromise and trade-offs, because you don't get that quickly famous by publishing a lot with quality, of course. So what CATOS have done, and we do plan to do more, is that yes, we do unstructurally give some kind of technical advice through our reports to our stakeholders. And then we also do workshops like this. For example, we do workshops surrounding Provo, especially it is a new and emerging technology, through industry dialogues, roundtable, breakfast conversations, and so on and so forth. So we do that. We could do, perhaps starting from next year, we are looking at a somewhat more structured way. So we are building perhaps more dedicated curriculum as part of master's or PhD training, or it could be some kind of structured course for a day or two to explain the methodology, to do translational research. And last but not least, we already opened up this year of joint appointment, visiting scientists, adjunct scientists with CATOS. So if you know, or you have colleagues or collaborators who would like to kind of experience, but you don't want to fully switch to scientist practitioners, you could recommend them to approach us to pursue a visiting scientist role, or even we are going to accept internships. Thank you.
I think that's the end of the Q&A. We have answered most of the questions.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kieta. Dr. Yang, Dr. Wang, and Dr. Mondal, may I please invite you back to your seats?